Sometimes life comes at you in waves. Not the gentle kind that lap at your feet on a summer's day, but the kind that make you question every step you've taken. You know that sensation, that slight tremor in your hands, that knot of anticipation in your chest that feels like it might just stay there forever. Let me tell you something about facing those waves. The ancient Stoics understood that our strength isn't measured by the absence of challenges, but by how we face them. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, wrote his deepest thoughts by candlelight, leaving us wisdom that's as relevant today as it was 2,000 years ago. Epictetus, born a slave, taught emperors about true freedom. Their words still echo through time, teaching us about standing firm when the ground beneath our feet feels anything but steady. Consider this. Everyone faces moments that test their resolve. Maybe you're at a crossroads in your career, or struggling to keep your head above water with daily obligations. The wisdom we're about to explore won't promise you smooth sailing. That's not what Stoicism is about. Instead, it'll give you tools to face life as it is, unpredictable, tough, and sometimes overwhelming, while helping you find that sturdy center within yourself. Because we all need that center, that unmovable core that keeps us steady when life throws its heaviest punches. Welcome to Rise Stoically. Here, ancient wisdom meets the challenges of everyday living. You know, there's something powerful about seeing these philosophical insights play out in real people's stories, not just in theory, but in the sweat and toil of daily life. Through these explorations, we aim to kindle something in you, that same sense of possibility and control that Stoic principles have offered countless souls across time. Think of this as your guide to developing inner strength, one reflection at a time. In what follows, we're going to dive deep into foundational principles of Stoicism. We'll connect these ideas to modern life, looking at examples like Chris Hemsworth's journey from Australian television to global recognition. While he's never publicly labeled his approach as Stoic, his path offers us clear parallels to these ancient teachings, from embracing adversity to staying grounded in success, from cherishing the present moment to cultivating a serene mind. Each principle stands as a doorway to understanding how we can face our own trials and emerge stronger. These aren't just philosophical ideas meant for scholars. They're practical tools that have guided people through their darkest hours and highest achievements for over 2,000 years. And they're just as powerful today as they were back then. Principle 1. Control what you can, accept what you can't. The ancient Stoics had a sharp eye for what truly matters in life. Epictetus laid it out plainly in his Enchiridion. Some things are up to us and some things are not up to us. There's profound wisdom in those simple words. Wisdom that can transform how you face every challenge that comes your way. Let me tell you about something I've observed. When Chris Hemsworth first pursued the role of Thor, his younger brother Liam advanced further in the casting process. Now, imagine that moment, watching your own brother move closer to a life-changing opportunity you deeply wanted. Many would have let bitterness take root. Instead, Hemsworth focused on what he could control: his preparation, his physical transformation, his dedication to understanding the character. He didn't waste energy fretting about casting decisions or comparing himself to others. He poured his effort into the elements within his grasp. The heart of this principle lies deeper than Hollywood casting rooms. It shows up in your daily life, in those moments when you're working toward a goal that seems just out of reach. Take a promotion you're chasing, or a relationship you're trying to mend. The outcome, whether you get that recognition or that reconciliation, isn't entirely in your control. But your dedication, your sincerity, your commitment to showing up fully, those belong to you alone. Marcus Aurelius captured this essence in his Meditations when he wrote about how we waste precious energy fighting against things we can't change. Picture a captain at sea. They can't control the weather, can't command the waves to settle, but they can master their navigation skills, maintain their vessel, and train their crew. That's the kind of clear-headed action we're after, focusing our energy where it can actually make a difference. This principle becomes particularly powerful during life's storms. When Hemsworth later faced the physically demanding role of a mercenary in Extraction, couldn't control the scorching heat of filming locations or the complexity of the action sequences. Instead, he concentrated on his preparation, his physical conditioning, and his moment-to-moment performance. It's this kind of focused attention that turns potential obstacles into opportunities for growth. Consider this practice. Next time you face a situation that's got your stomach in knots, pause, take a breath, draw 2 circles on a piece of paper. In one, list everything about the situation you can influence, your preparation, your responses, your attitude. In the other, write down what's beyond your control, other people's decisions, external circumstances, past events. Now, here's the crucial part. Commit to pouring your energy only into that first circle. That's where your power lies. The Stoics understood something profound about human nature. Our peace of mind comes not from controlling every outcome, but from recognizing what we can and cannot influence. When you embrace this distinction, you'll find yourself standing steadier, thinking clearer, acting with greater purpose, because you're no longer exhausting yourself trying to control the uncontrollable. Remember, accepting what you can't control isn't surrender. It's strategic wisdom. It's about conserving your strength for the battles you can actually win, the changes you can actually make. In doing so, you'll find a kind of freedom, the freedom that comes from letting go of what isn't yours to carry. Principle 2. Live with purpose. The currents of daily routine can easily carry us through life without direction. Wake up, handle tasks, chase deadlines, repeat. The ancient Stoics saw this drift and offered something deeper. They spoke of telos, your ultimate purpose, not just goals or ambitions, but the fundamental reason that guides every choice you make. Marcus Aurelius captured this perfectly in his private journals. At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work, as a human being. Consider the depth of those words. He wasn't just talking about showing up for a job. He spoke about fulfilling our essential purpose, contributing something meaningful to the world. The journey of Chris Hemsworth offers us a contemporary glimpse of purpose in action. Beyond the surface success of Thor, his career choices reveal a deeper pattern. Taking on Rush, where he portrayed Formula One driver James Hunt, demanded more than memorizing lines. It required understanding the spirit of a real person, the complexity of human ambition. In the Heart of the Sea, he didn't just perform scenes. He immersed himself in the historical weight of the story that inspired Moby Dick. Each role became a vessel for exploring different facets of human experience. The Stoics understood something profound about purpose. They saw it not as a distant destination, but as the compass that guides each step. Epictetus taught that our purpose reveals itself in how we handle daily choices, in our responses to success and setback alike. When Hemsworth faced the physical demands of these challenging roles, his approach wasn't just about achieving a look. It became about understanding human endurance, about pushing boundaries while maintaining balance. Consider the quieter dimensions of purpose. During interviews about Extraction, Hemsworth spoke about wanting to explore the psychological complexity of his character. A man haunted by past choices, yet driven by a deep sense of duty. This mirrors the Stoic understanding that purpose isn't just about grand achievements. It's about bringing your whole self to every moment, every interaction, every choice. Here's a truth about purpose that often gets overlooked. It's not something you discover once and forever. Purpose evolves as you grow, as your understanding deepens. When Hemsworth learned about his genetic predisposition to Alzheimer's, his purpose expanded beyond career achievement to include raising awareness about health and wellness, about making choices that honor both personal and family well-being. The practice of living with purpose requires regular reflection. Take a quiet moment, maybe when the world's still sleeping, and ask yourself, what values do I want my life to reflect? What difference do I want to make? What principles am I willing to stand for even when it's difficult? Your answers become your compass, guiding you through both storms and calm waters. This principle carries a particular power in our distracted age. When everything demands attention, when social media beckons with endless comparison, purpose becomes your anchor. It helps you distinguish between what's merely urgent and what's truly important. It transforms daily choices from routine obligations into meaningful steps on your chosen path. Remember, Living with purpose doesn't mean every moment must be profound. It means bringing awareness to your choices, understanding how they align with your deeper values. Because in the end, a life of purpose isn't measured by achievements alone, but by the consistency between what you believe and how you live. Principle 3. Embrace adversity as opportunity. The ancient Stoics understood something profound about adversity. They called it amor fati, the love of fate. Not just accepting what comes your way, but embracing it as if you had chosen it yourself. This isn't about putting on a brave face or denying the reality of hardship. It's about understanding that every challenge carries within it the seeds of growth. The deepest truth about adversity lies in how it shapes us. When challenges arise, they expose what we're made of and reveal what we might become. Consider how even diamonds form under immense pressure over time through conditions that would crush lesser materials. The Stoics saw human character developing in much the same way. Chris Hemsworth's path offers us a compelling modern perspective on this principle. Early in his career, after moving to Los Angeles, work dried up completely. He's spoken about reaching a point where his savings dwindled to dangerous levels, where the weight of uncertainty pressed heavily on his shoulders. Many would have seen this as failure. Instead, these lean times became his crucible, forcing him to refine his craft, deepen his resolve, and clarify his motivations. The physical demands of his roles teach us another dimension of embracing adversity. For in the heart of the sea, he had to lose dramatic amounts of weight, consuming just 500 calories daily, a transformation that tested both body and mind. Rather than viewing this as mere suffering, he approached it as an opportunity to understand human endurance, to explore the limits of physical adaptation. This mirrors the Stoic teaching that obstacles reveal our capabilities. Seneca, who experienced both exile and immense success, wrote that prosperity can actually make us soft. It's the obstacles, the setbacks, the moments of doubt that forge our character. When Hemsworth prepared for extraction, the grueling action sequences weren't just challenges to overcome. They became opportunities to push boundaries, to discover new levels of focus and determination. The wisdom here runs deeper than physical challenges. The Stoics practiced what they called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of adversity. This wasn't about becoming pessimistic, but about building resilience through mental preparation. By acknowledging that challenges will come, we develop the strength to face them with equanimity. This principle transforms how we view life's difficulties. A project fails, a relationship ends, an opportunity slips away. These moments aren't just setbacks, they're invitations to growth, chances to demonstrate resilience, opportunities to deepen our understanding of ourselves and our capabilities. When Hemsworth faced the uncertainty of his genetic health discoveries, he transformed this challenge into a platform for awareness and a deeper appreciation for present moments. Consider this approach to adversity. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" shift to, "What is this teaching me?" Every storm that comes your way either breaks you or makes you stronger. And that choice rests in how you perceive and respond to the challenge. The Stoics knew that true strength isn't built in comfort, but in confronting and embracing what life presents. Remember, adversity isn't the enemy of growth, it's the catalyst. Every challenge that comes your way carries two things: a burden to bear and a lesson to learn. Your task isn't to wish for easier challenges, but to build yourself into someone strong enough to face whatever comes with wisdom and grace. Principle 4. Practice gratitude. Gratitude might seem like the simplest of virtues, but the Stoics understood it as something far more powerful than mere politeness or occasional thanks. They saw gratitude as a transformative practice could reshape our entire relationship with life. To them, focusing on what you have rather than what you lack wasn't just positive thinking, it was practical wisdom for living well. The Stoic teacher Epictetus, who spent his early life as a slave, offered profound insight into this practice. He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. These words carry special weight, coming from someone who had every reason to focus on what he lacked. Instead, he taught that our contentment lies not in our circumstances, but in our perspective about them. The modern entertainment industry, with its constant pressure for more success, more recognition, more followers, offers us a perfect laboratory for understanding this principle. Consider Chris Hemsworth's journey after achieving global fame as Thor. Rather than becoming caught in Hollywood's endless cycle of comparison and achievement, he's consistently expressed gratitude for his roots, often returning to work in Australia's film industry and maintaining connections to his home community. But the practice of gratitude goes deeper than appreciating success. The Stoics developed a specific practice called negative visualization, regularly imagining losing the things we value, not to create anxiety, but to sharpen our appreciation for what we have right now. When Hemsworth stepped back from acting to focus on his health and family, this shift revealed a profound gratitude for aspects of life beyond career achievement: the simple pleasure of time with loved ones, the gift of health, the luxury of choice. Here's where gratitude intersects with wisdom. The Stoics understood that true wealth lies not in what you possess, but in your capacity to appreciate what's present. Think about your morning coffee, the sound of birds outside your window, the ability to read these words. These simple pleasures contain extraordinary richness when we pause to truly notice them. Hemsworth has spoken about finding this kind of appreciation through surfing, not as a luxury activity, but as a way to connect with nature's simple gifts. The practice of gratitude requires intention. It's about training your mind to see abundance where others might see scarcity. When faced with early career setbacks, Hemsworth has mentioned being grateful for the time these failures gave him to work on his craft, to deepen his understanding of acting, to build the foundation for future success. This mirrors the Stoic teaching that every situation, even seemingly negative ones, contains something to be thankful for. Consider this dimension of gratitude. It's not just about feeling good, it's about building resilience. When you cultivate genuine appreciation for what you have, you become less vulnerable to the whims of fortune. Success becomes sweeter but not essential. Setbacks become manageable rather than devastating. You develop what the Stoics called an inner citadel, a place of contentment that external circumstances cannot easily shake. Remember, gratitude isn't a denial of life's challenges. Instead, it helps you find balance, showing you that even in difficult times, there's something worthy of appreciation. It's about recognizing that every breath is a gift, every moment an opportunity, every challenge a chance to demonstrate strength and wisdom. Principle 5. Be mindful of your mortality. Memento Mori. The Stoics embraced a powerful truth that most people spend their lives avoiding. They called it Memento Mori. Remember, you must die. But this wasn't about dwelling in darkness. The Stoics understood that accepting our mortality brings extraordinary clarity to how we live. As Marcus Aurelius wrote in his private reflections, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." This principle found profound resonance recently when Chris Hemsworth faced his own mortality. During filming of his documentary series Limitless, genetic testing revealed he carries 2 copies of the APOE4 gene, significantly increasing his risk for Alzheimer's disease. This discovery transformed from a televised exploration of human potential into a deeply personal confrontation with mortality. Rather than hiding from this knowledge, he chose to share it publicly, using it as a catalyst for meaningful change in his life. The wisdom of Memento Mori reveals itself in how it shapes our priorities. When Hemsworth learned about his genetic predisposition, his response embodied Stoic principles. He didn't retreat in fear. Instead, he adjusted his approach to work, increased his focus on family time, and used his platform to raise awareness about brain health and preventive measures. This mirrors what Seneca taught, that contemplating our mortality helps us distinguish between what's truly important and what's merely urgent. Consider how this awareness transforms daily life. Knowing our time is finite doesn't paralyze us with fear. Instead, it energizes us to live more fully in the present moment. When Hemsworth decided to take a break from acting to spend more time with his family, he demonstrated this principle in action, recognizing that time with loved ones holds more value than another entry in his filmography. The Stoics saw profound liberation in accepting mortality. When we truly understand that our time is limited, petty grievances lose their power. That argument that's been simmering for years? That grudge you've been nurturing? That dream you've been postponing? All these look different when viewed through the lens of finite time. Hemsworth's openness about his health discoveries sparked conversations about living purposefully, about making choices aligned with what truly matters while we still can. This principle carries practical wisdom for daily life. It's about living with such clarity and purpose that death loses its sting. Ask yourself, if this were your last day, would you be proud of how you're choosing to spend it? Would the things consuming your energy right now still seem important? This isn't about living in fear of death. It's about letting the awareness of mortality inspire you to live more fully. The practice of Memento Mori transforms how we approach challenges. When faced with obstacles, remembering our mortality helps us ask better questions. Is this worth the precious time it's consuming? What really matters here? During his preparation for various roles, Hemsworth has spoken about how awareness of life's fragility helped him maintain perspective about the physical demands and pressures of his career. Remember, being mindful of mortality isn't about living under a shadow. It's about letting the finite nature of life illuminate what truly matters. It's about recognizing that our limited time here isn't a curse. It's precisely what makes each moment precious, each relationship valuable, each choice significant. As the Stoics understood, when we embrace our mortality, we paradoxically become more fully alive. Principle 6. Seek progress, not perfection. The Stoics understood something profound about human nature. Our tendency to chase perfection often becomes the very thing that prevents progress. They taught that true growth isn't about reaching some flawless state, but about the consistent effort to improve, one step at a time. As Epictetus said, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it." This wisdom reminds us that actions, however imperfect, speak louder than perfect theories. The modern world's obsession with perfection creates a particular burden. Social media parades carefully curated moments, headlines celebrate overnight successes, and it's easy to forget that real growth happens in the messy middle of trying and failing and trying again. The Stoics saw this trap thousands of years ago, the paralysis that comes from wanting everything to be perfect before taking the first step. Consider Chris Hemsworth's physical transformation for Thor. The process wasn't about achieving a perfect end state, because there isn't one. Instead, it involved years of consistent training, dietary discipline, and constant adjustments. When discussing his preparation, Hemsworth has spoken about the importance of showing up daily, even on days when motivation waned or results seemed distant. This embodies the Stoic understanding that progress comes through practice, not perfection. Marcus Aurelius captured this wisdom in his journals. Each entry represented not perfect wisdom, but another step in his ongoing journey of self-improvement. He wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one." This mirrors the practical approach needed for any meaningful change. Less theorizing about perfection, more focus on practical progress. The journey of skill development teaches us this principle clearly. When Hemsworth prepared for different roles, he faced plateaus in training, days when dialogue wouldn't stick, moments when doubt crept in. Yet these weren't failures. They were essential parts of the learning process. The Stoics understood that progress often looks more like a spiral than a straight line. Sometimes you seem to cover the same ground, but at a deeper level each time. This principle transforms how we approach challenges. Instead of waiting for perfect conditions or becoming paralyzed by the fear of mistakes, we learn to embrace the process of growth itself. When Hemsworth took on extraction, he didn't start with perfect execution of the complex action sequences. He built his capabilities gradually, accepting that progress comes through repetition and refinement. The wisdom here extends beyond physical training. Whether you're developing a new skill, building a relationship, or working toward any goal, progress comes through consistent effort rather than perfect execution. The Stoics taught that excellence is built through daily choices, showing up, putting in the work, learning from mistakes and continuing despite setbacks. Remember, progress isn't about never falling. It's about getting up one more time than you fall. It's about understanding that every mistake, every setback, every moment of doubt is part of the journey toward improvement. As Hemsworth demonstrated in his evolving approach to roles over the years, true mastery comes not from avoiding imperfection, but from using each experience as a stepping stone toward growth. Principle 7. Remain humble in success. The Stoics recognized a fascinating paradox about success. While many fear failure, it's often success that poses the greater challenge to our character. As Seneca observed, prosperity has a particular way of testing our wisdom, sometimes more severely than adversity. This understanding becomes especially relevant when we examine how people navigate achievement while maintaining their fundamental values. Marcus Aurelius, ruler of the known world, wrote something profound in his personal journals. Almost nothing material is needed for a happy life, for he who has understood existence. Consider the weight of these words coming from someone who had access to every luxury imaginable. He understood that true contentment comes not from external achievements, but from internal wisdom. The entertainment industry offers us a compelling modern laboratory for observing this principle. Chris Hemsworth's approach to success provides valuable insights into maintaining humility amid extraordinary achievement. After reaching global recognition through Thor, he made a conscious choice to base his life not in Hollywood, but in Byron Bay, Australia. This wasn't about escaping fame, but about maintaining connection to his roots and values. The deeper wisdom of humility reveals itself in how we handle recognition. When discussing his success, Hemsworth consistently acknowledges the role of fortune, timing, and the support of others. He's spoken openly about how his brother Liam initially came closer to landing the role of Thor, demonstrating an understanding that success often involves factors beyond our control. This mirrors the Stoic teaching that external achievements, while worth celebrating, shouldn't be confused with personal worth. Success carries a subtle danger that the Stoics understood well. It can whisper to our ego, telling us we're special, different, somehow above the common struggles of humanity. But true greatness lies in remaining teachable, in treating everyone with respect, regardless of their status. Hemsworth has demonstrated this by consistently praising the contributions of stunt teams, crew members, and co-stars, understanding that successful projects emerge from collective effort rather than individual brilliance. The practice of humility requires regular self-reflection. The Stoics would often remind themselves of their own mortality and insignificance in the cosmic scale, not to diminish their achievements, but to maintain perspective. When Hemsworth speaks about his career, he often emphasizes the temporary nature of success in his industry, showing an understanding that today's achievements don't guarantee tomorrow's opportunities. This principle transforms how we approach accomplishment. Instead of seeing success as a pedestal that elevates us above others, we can view it as a platform for contributing more effectively to the world. When Hemsworth learned about his genetic predisposition to Alzheimer's, he used his platform not for personal gain but to raise awareness and encourage others to prioritize their health. Remember, humility isn't about diminishing your achievements or pretending you haven't worked hard. It's about maintaining perspective, acknowledging the complex web of factors that contribute to success, and using your achievements to lift others up rather than to elevate yourself above them. As the Stoics understood, true greatness lies not in believing ourselves superior, but in using whatever success we achieve to contribute positively to the lives of others. Principle 8. Develop a calm mind. The Stoics understood something profound about mental tranquility. They saw that inner peace wasn't about escaping chaos, but about developing steadiness amid life's inevitable storms. Epictetus taught that our disturbance comes not from things themselves, but from our judgments about them. This wisdom becomes particularly relevant in our modern world of constant stimulation and endless demands. Consider the intense pressure of a film set. Millions of dollars at stake, hundreds of people in motion, complex sequences requiring perfect timing. In these moments, Chris Hemsworth's approach to maintaining composure offers us valuable insights into practical mental calm. For extraction, he faced the challenge of performing intricate action sequences, often in single takes, lasting several minutes. This required not just physical preparation, but extraordinary mental focus, a real-world application of Stoic tranquility. The deeper wisdom about mental calm reveals itself in daily practice. When preparing for demanding roles, Hemsworth has spoken about incorporating meditation and breathwork into his routine. This mirrors Marcus Aurelius's teaching that the mind becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Our mental state isn't something that happens to us, it's something we actively cultivate through consistent practice. The Stoics saw tranquility as an active achievement. They developed what they called the inner citadel, a quiet space within ourselves where external chaos cannot penetrate. Hemsworth found this space through surfing, a practice he maintains regularly in Byron Bay. It's not about escaping challenges, but about building the internal strength to face them with steadiness. This principle becomes particularly powerful when facing uncertainty. When Hemsworth received news about his genetic predisposition to Alzheimer's, his response demonstrated the value of a cultivated, calm mind. Rather than allowing fear to overwhelm him, he approached the situation with measured consideration, using the knowledge to make thoughtful adjustments to his life and work priorities. The practice of mental calm operates on several levels. First comes the daily discipline of mindful moments, those brief pauses where we step back from the chaos and simply breathe. Then there's the deeper work of examining our thoughts, questioning our reactions, and gradually building that internal fortress of tranquility. The Stoics would often write down their thoughts, much like Marcus Aurelius did, as a way to process experiences and maintain perspective. In our modern world, developing mental calm has become both more challenging and more essential. With constant notifications and endless demands for attention, the ability to maintain inner peace isn't just philosophical, it's practical survival. Hemsworth's decision to base his life away from Hollywood's constant pressure demonstrates this understanding that environment plays a role in mental tranquility. Remember, a calm mind isn't achieved through escape or avoidance. It's built through facing life's challenges with presence and awareness. The Stoics taught that true peace comes not from having an easy life, but from developing the internal strength to face whatever life brings with steadiness and grace. As they understood, when we cultivate internal peace, we become like a steady rock in turbulent waters, someone others can rely on during their own storms. You know, we've traveled quite a distance together, from understanding the wisdom of controlling what we can and accepting what we can't, all the way through to building that fortress of mental calm. These 8 principles aren't just ancient philosophy gathering dust. They're living tools for navigating our complex world. The Stoics understood something profound about human nature. Our capacity for growth comes through practical wisdom, not just theoretical knowledge. Throughout our exploration, we've seen these timeless principles reflected in modern life through Chris Hemsworth's journey. Not because he explicitly studied Stoicism, but because these truths naturally emerge when we approach life with intention and awareness. Consider how these principles weave together. Our acceptance of what we can't control leads naturally to living with deeper purpose. This purpose gives us the strength to embrace adversity as opportunity, while gratitude keeps us grounded in what truly matters. Our awareness of mortality sharpens our focus on progress rather than perfection, while humility in success and a calm mind provide the foundation for lasting wisdom. The beauty of these teachings lies in their practical application. When Hemsworth faced the uncertainty of his health discoveries, we saw these principles in action. He controlled what he could by adjusting his lifestyle and raising awareness. He embraced this challenge as an opportunity for growth. He expressed gratitude for the early warning and maintained humility by using his platform to help others. Most importantly, he approached it all with the calm mind that comes from accepting life's uncertainties. Here's what the Stoics understood about lasting change. It doesn't come from grand declarations or dramatic gestures. It comes through small, consistent choices, daily practices that gradually reshape how we see and respond to life's challenges. Whether you're facing career uncertainties, relationship struggles, or personal doubts, these principles offer a pathway to greater resilience and deeper fulfillment. Take a moment to reflect on one small change you could make today. Maybe it's pausing to appreciate something you normally take for granted. Perhaps it's choosing to face a challenge with curiosity instead of resistance. Or it might be taking that first step toward a long-held dream, understanding that progress matters more than perfection. Remember this truth about the journey we've shared. These principles aren't about removing life's challenges or achieving some perfect state of wisdom. They're about developing the internal strength to face whatever life brings with grace, courage, and clarity. Whether you're an actor preparing for a demanding role, a parent navigating daily challenges, or someone seeking deeper meaning in life, these teachings offer a timeless guide to living with greater purpose and peace. This is Rise Stoically, where ancient wisdom meets modern challenges. Until we meet again, remember, life's trials aren't obstacles to your path. They are the path. Stay centered, stay strong, and keep rising, one principle at a time.